There was a man named Abraham, and God came to him one day, and he wasn't alone. And three men came walking towards him, and he came to them, and he called them Lord, capital Lord. So he wasn't talking to all three because he said Lord singular. He's talking to the one who stayed with him. One guy stayed with him, and the other two went off down into the valley. And the guy who stayed with him said, Abraham, I will come visit you according to the time of life. And he told him about what was going to happen in Sodom, how he was going to burn all 5 cities that were there, not just Sodom and Gomorrah, but there was 5 cities in the Death Valley there, Dead Sea, that he was going to burn up because there wasn't anybody decent in the whole valley. And Abraham bargained with him, got him down to 5. If those 2 angels who went down had found 5 people who were righteous, didn't have to be holy, just righteous, the valley would be saved. They couldn't even find 5. Now those 2 messengers, those 2 angels who went down as men, preached a message of judgment to Sodom. And when it was rejected, remember, the men of Sodom were blinded by the angels. Lot, who received that message, and his wife and his 2 daughters, he received the message of the 2 angels. He accepted it, even went and preached it to his relatives. But Lot knew nothing about what was going on with Abraham up in the mountains. He didn't know about Elohim being there at all. He didn't know anything about the message that Abraham received. He knew nothing about it. It wasn't for him. He only received his message. And he barely got out of Sodom. His wife didn't. She turned back. Are you turning back? But there was another messenger who stayed up in the mountains with Abraham. He was outside of Sodom. He wasn't in the valley. And that was Elohim. And Elohim had a whole different message for Abraham. It wasn't a message of judgment. It was a promise. It was a covenant, an everlasting covenant. There is a messenger in our day sent to the bride of our day, to the Abraham of our day. And there was a couple of messengers sent to Sodom, to the church nominal in Sodom. And they were Billy Graham and Oral Roberts. And if you notice, the fire of God's wrath did not fall upon Sodom until after the 2 angels had left and the church nominal had been pulled out and some had turned back and turned to salt. But Abraham saw it all, because Abraham was given a message from a messenger. And he knew all about his message. He also knew all about Lot's message, all about what happened in Sodom. He knew about it before it happened. And after it was over, he walked out upon the ashes of the unjust. Lot didn't. Lot went off into the mountains. And he was never heard of again. His daughters, with whom he had an incestuous relationship while drunk. Yeah, he wasn't holy, was he? They had children which became great nations, but Lot, that was it for him. And we have to look at Lot and Abraham. They came out and they formed nations. They formed their own denominations. They formed their own groups. They never joined Abraham. They knew where he was. They had been with him before. They knew where Abraham was. They never went to Abraham. You ever wonder why Lot never went to Abraham? It was his uncle. He knew where he was. He knew where he was living, but he wouldn't go there. He wouldn't come. So today, we've been sent a messenger after the prophecy of Malachi 4, 5, and 6 that said, Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the great and terrible day of the Lord. And he shall turn the hearts of the children to the fathers and the fathers to the children, unless I come and smite the earth with a curse. That wasn't John the Baptist. John the Baptist was Malachi 3, and Jesus told us so. He'll make the way straight, so the mountains will be level, and the valleys will rise up. That was John the Baptist. Malachi 4, 5, and 6 is the forthcoming of Elijah to us. Do you know who he was? Did he come to you, or did you just get Oral Roberts and Billy Graham? Did you even get Oral Roberts and Billy Graham? Or did you just get Lot, who you laughed to scorn? Where do you sit? Are you in Abraham's camp? Are you in Lot's camp? Or are you in Sodom? The messenger is come, the messengers have gone. Fire's about to fall. Pick your camp and get in your camp quick. Are you in Sodom? Are you in Lot's camp? Or are you in Abraham's camp? Did Lot preach to you? Did Billy Graham and Oral Roberts come preach to you? Are you in that group? Or did William Branham preach to you? Which group are you in? Which message did you receive? Which did you reject? Are you Lot? Are you Lot's daughters who built their own denominations around her message, their worldly message? Or are you Lot's wife who turned back, who heard the message and turned back to Sodom and was frozen in time? A pillar of salt, a pillar of sin. Which are you? You know. Search your hearts. If you have a desire to be in Abraham's camp, God put that desire there. And you get into Abraham's camp through the Abrahamic message, which was sent by the prophet of Malachi 4, 5, and 6, and Revelation 10, 7, which in our day was William Branham. Do you know who that was? You should find out. Don't listen to what Sodom has to say about him. Don't listen to what Lot's daughters have to say about him. Don't listen to what Lot has to say about him. Because they don't know anything about him. They think they do maybe, but they know nothing about him. Find out what Abraham has to say about him. Find out what he has to say about himself. Find out what God had to say about him in vindicating his message with supernatural signs, wonders, and miracles. Which camp are you in today? Time to choose. Choose wisely. God bless.